Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, this video is supplementary or just a follow-up of one recent video which I made on the Shani Panoti. After that, a lot many people asked me that Nipun, it's like for example you mentioned this thing that for the Sagittarius and the Leo sign, we are going to be coming into the vulnerable zone based on Saturn's transit to the 4th and the 8th house from our moon sign. So what could be the probable outcome? And especially because even at a time when I was explaining the results, I somehow gave a lot of emphasis to the in the case of the Leo moon sign natives, because in their case the relationship which Saturn has with the Leo Lord of Leo, which is Sun, and just because Saturn is going to be transiting in the 8th house, over and above that, when we talk about Pisces, it's not a very harmonious placement for Saturn to be placed in. See, just look at it in this way that planet like Mars, which represents our strength, determination, willpower, conviction in our cause and all. So Mars generally function very well whenever it is placed in the like earth signs, like this could be Taurus, this could be Virgo, this could be Capricorn. I'm talking about from the point of view of the element. Same is the way guys, when we talk about from Saturn's point of view, it functions very well when it is placed in the air sign. This could be Gemini, this could be Libra, this could be Aquarius. One sign is its sign of exaltation, one is its Mool Trikona sign. But when we talk about Pisces, over there as well, there's a lot of possibility that the minute Saturn will start putting pressure on you, either it's gonna break you or it's gonna break someone's morale or something. So escapist tendency tend to remain whenever Saturn start working on the domain of the Pisces sign. But now guys, in this video I will be just adding some more layers to what we already discussed in the last video. I mentioned this thing that if you are a Leo moon sign, next year in 2025, Saturn is going to be transiting in your 8th house. And I discussed certain do's and don'ts with all of you guys. But now guys, let me just include more planetary contribution coming in and influencing the Leo sign next year. Because you cannot overlook this fact that for the Leo, it's like they are not gonna only be hosting Saturn in their 8th house, but they will also be hosting another karmic planet, which is Ketu, right over there on their sign. So Ketu is going to be transiting right over to you, and Rahu is going to be there opposite to you. So it means the karmic axis is also gonna trouble you. So what does it indicate? So guys, look at it in this way. Now this is in this video I'm talking more from the point of view of the Leo moon sign natives, but I would say this thing that even if you are a Leo rising, even if like Leo sign falls in your 10th house, Leo sign falls in your 7th house, then also you have to be very mindful of this thing. All of your conduct in the domain of the Leo next year needs to be monitored, like integrity, honesty, discipline, staying respectful. All of that will become very important. And guys, it's not only from the point of view of the Saturn. Even if you have to include the contribution of the Ketu, we say that if you actually want to gain from the domain or from the influence of the Ketu, so staying organic, staying very honest and regular with your discipline, with your ethics, nature and the omen plays a very important role. Like whenever we talk about someone who is a typical case of victim of circumstances and someone who is going to be destiny's favored child, all of that only happen because of the role of the Ketu. Like someone who was supposed to be in that road, in that bus, in that situation that day, but somehow what happened at the last minute, this person pulled himself out of that situation. That is a typical contribution which comes from the Ketu. So yes guys, the very first thing which I mentioned, that staying very much like aware about staying ritualistic and being very mindful of the omens will become very important. And in any way guys, like when we say that Ketu is also connected with the animals, especially dog, Ketu is connected with nature, Ketu is connected with your maternal grandfather. So all the attributes, Ketu is also connected with people who are who have this kind of spiritual identity connected to them. Like this could be a yogi, this could be a yoga instructor, this could be an astrologer. So even like I would say this thing that see, again, I'm not gonna sell my business, my astrology work or services over there. But let's say, for example, even at the testing times or pressing times of the life, it will not be a botheration to get an astrological advice. Or let's say, for example, even at a time for the Leo natives next year, after when this whole alignment would have happened, like even if you have to take any important decision, being very mindful of the muhurat will become very important. Like, are you taking your decision at a time when the sign lord in itself is in a new moon combination, the sign lord in itself is like eclipsed during the close to the time of the eclipse. So if you will find that sun or moon in the transit is afflicted, they are crossing from the Gandmul, and right over at that point of time, you're gonna sign a lease, you're gonna sign a contract, you're gonna enter into a new house. So all of that is not gonna be working in your favor. So omens is gonna be playing a very important role, because that is what, when Ketu will start influencing your sign, it will exert its energy over there. And eighth from your moon sign is going to be the planet Saturn. Now what does it tell about? So just like that, even if you will be trying to enforce any major transformation over there, you have to be very mindful of the ethics, of the honesty, of the integrity, and not cutting corners. Doing the hard work will become very, very important. Guys, look at it in this way. People say this thing that Sade Sati is problematic. Some people say in terms of the Panoti that Saturn's transit from the 4th house from your moon is also problematic. But if I were to say 8th house transit of the Saturn from your moon sign equally hold this capacity to actually bring crisis kind of situation. It's like where life is making you or forcing you to leave things, to sacrifice, because it's the Pisces energy over there. So over there as well, how you stay honest and follow integrity will become very important. Now after knowing all of that, now comes the question that where is going to be the remedy. So guys, in your case, now the blessing is that next year, amidst all this pressure, karmic pressure if I were to say, the energy of the dry planets influencing all around you, there is going to be the sigh of relief of the Jupiter, which will transit the 11th house from your moon sign. Because Jupiter, when in the month of May, when it will enter your 11th house, so that can be looked at in this way that seeking refuge in the expert advice, guidance from a guru will become very important. Staying ritualistic, like the way, for example, if you are in a dasha of the planet Saturn, you started keeping fasting on the Saturdays. See, do not look at it in this way that in order to please the planet Jupiter, you only have to do the Vishnu Bhakti, or you only have to do the Bij mantra of the planet Jupiter. That is when chiefly you are operating under the time period of that planet. But there are those qualities, like the way we say that Venus is the wife in every man's chart. It hardly matters which planet rules your 7th house. Mars is the significator of brothers for everyone. It hardly matters which planet rules your 3rd house. So that is what I'm trying to tell. That staying very much respectful towards the people of religious order, and doing the chanting, taking out time for pilgrimage, being regular and consistent with your prayers could be seen as a solace in order to deal with this kind of karmic pressure which is going to be building up for the Leo natives next year. Now guys, one more thing which I want to add over here, even if you have to look at it from the mundane point of view as well, and that is the only reason. See, like the way before, when Donald Trump was competing for this so much coveted kind of election, over at that point of time, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they all like created that media campaign around the Donald Trump, that Donald Trump has got that secret project 2025 in the mind, and because of that he's gonna be a dictator, and he's gonna snatch away all the kind of rights from the people, and then it's going to be a autocratic kind of dictator kind of rule and kind of situation and all. So if you were to ask me, yes, because in America's chart, in Donald Trump's chart, there is a very strong influence of the Leo over there, and the way the Leo is going to be getting under the pressure. So again guys, the way Donald Trump has been saying this thing, that I'm gonna be, once I will preside over as a president, I will stop the war in all the parts of the world which are right now engulfed or engaged in the war. I'm gonna stop it. But it doesn't look like that easy path, because Ketu coming right over there over your first house, it might be forced to you. And when Saturn is going to be transiting from the 8th house from your Leo sign, the countries rising and the presidents rising, so even the public is not gonna be very happy that now, whether you like it or you do not like it, whether you want it or you do not want it, we are again embroiled in a again conflicting kind of situation. And over there, guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, that when we talk about Saturn and Ketu working against you, over there it's a typical case of the victim. It's a typical case, like in certain cases people have sympathy for certain nations and they accuse America. It's like, like you are the one who always go and involve countries in war. But this is going to be the case that they might end up being in a victim kind of situation, the way planetary vibration and energy is going to be influencing them. So yes, guys, at the end of the day, all what I can say is that for the Leo natives, now it hardly matters whether Leo is your rising, Leo is your moon, Leo is falling in your 10th house. Next year the moon mantra has to be of being very respectful towards the omens. Like if you get to know that the transit is making or creating a very vulnerable energy, do not initiate that task. Working hard, not cutting corners, staying respectful, and religious austerities will also like reward you. Guys, it's a very funny story, I'll tell you. So what happened, I recently signed a lease for a new place, new apartment, ocean view. I wanted to get that because of my moon and the water energy right now activated. So at a time when I went there, so that point of time, that day, because I knew this thing because of the holiday thing and all, if I will not sign lease that day, either I'm gonna lose out on it or something else gonna happen. So that point of time when I reached the office, I checked the transit. That time moon was in the Virgo, and it's not only Virgo, because from my rising sign it is falling, it's falling in the 6th house. From my moon sign it is falling in the 8th house, and over and above that it was also conjunct with Ketu. I was like, I'm not gonna sign in this hour. And when I checked the transit at 12:25, it's gonna enter in the Libra. And because I do not have any option, all what I can give attention to is the right specific precise minutes. And it's like because it was the holiday hours, so even they have to go back home. They was also in a rush to get back to their homes and start celebrating Christmas and preparing for Christmas and all. And it's like from 11:50 he kept on pressing me, Nipun, please sign, Nipun, please sign. I gave you the whole view and the viewing of the apartment. I gave you the keys. Everything is fine. Then why you not signing it? Then eventually at the end I told him, bro, I follow astrology. I need to wait till 12:25. No. So it's just like that. Yeah. So that's how you have to be. So for me, just because this is what I do, this is what my my field is. But in your case as well, if in any capacity you are like you are being ruled by moon Leo, you are being defined by Leo, you are right now on a dasha of a planet which is sitting in the Leo. So all these things which we discussed, how to deal with Ketu right over there over your zodiac sign, how to deal with it, Saturn in your 8th house from the moon sign, how to deal with it, and the solution is how to give more power to your Jupiter, which is going to be there in the 11th from your Leo. That is all what I wanted to say in this short video. So yes, guys, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.